I wanted to be an entrepreneur and I wanted to watch people dance at my studio. I never really wanted to be a dancer or a dance teacher. When someone appreciates, I don't get all happy. I still think like, oh my God, I'm lacking something. I have to work on it. I have to work on it. For me, as a girl, a 22-year-old girl, doing all this all alone, it was too tough to handle, but then I never gave up.
Hello, beautiful people out there. Welcome to Reach Her podcast. We hear you, and this is a platform for all the budding women out there from all walks of life. This is Madhumati here to be your host today. Today, our guest is a very talented woman who is a dancer and an entrepreneur. Let's welcome Sindhuja Hari. Hello, Sindhuja. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, thank you. How are you, Madhu?
I'm good too. Thank you. So, how's the lockdown there, Sindhu?
I'm currently slightly unhappy because of this lockdown because I can't wait to get back to work. I can't wait to go to my studio and work. But I'm doing my classes, I'm teaching online classes, and it's treating me quite well.
Okay. So tell us about your journey as a dancer, Sindhu. How did it start? When did it start?
Okay, it all started when I was a kid. My mom class, like when I was in school, I discontinued it because I never really was into dance.
Okay. So it all started when I was in school. My mom took me to Bharatanatyam classes and said, you have to join Bharatanatyam, you have to learn dance, Indian dance. So I was never into dance back then. I discontinued. I never really liked dancing. But I watched all dance shows, all reality shows. Like I loved watching dance performances and singing, painting, magic. I was so into watching all of this, but I was never into dancing. So I discontinued my Bharatanatyam classes when I was in school. After that, I joined MCC for UG, like Madras Christian College. It all started there. So it's a college with lots of culturals that happen every year. So they give you like 20 to 25 stage opportunities every year. Like you get to do so many dance performances, but I never really made use of any. In my first year, I did only one stage performance. Like I didn't know that dancing was my thing. I did it because my seniors pushed me to do it. They didn't have anyone to anyone in the team to dance, so they just pulled me in, saying, "Come, let's dance." So it all started in MCC. So when I was in my third UG, I took responsibility and I started choreographing for a Bollywood team for holidays and auditions, and that's when I knew that dancing was my interest, and I can also choreograph, or I can also dance. That's when I knew it, when I was in my third UG. After that, I left. College got over. I joined for a company. I was working for a year and a half. I was not satisfied with my job. Like I used to think, are you doing what you like? What are you even doing? Why are you doing this? I had so many thoughts. So when I plugged my earphones in while traveling, while going to office, while coming back, I used to choreograph in my mind, oh my God, this song is so good, we should make a video on this. So that's when it all started. I started dancing on weekends. I went to a few of my friends' studios in Tambaram, like near my college, and I started dancing on weekends. It gave me immense happiness. Like dancing made me so happy. It healed me. It made me into a complete new person. That's when I realized, okay, I should do something, in this field. I should also dance. I should prove myself as a dancer. Even though I was not a dancer, I discontinued Bharatanatyam. I was technically a non-dancer. I didn't have any dance background except for the school I studied at, where I learned basics of Bharatanatyam, which I never liked. So I started going to studios on weekends, and yeah, after a year and a half, I quit my job thinking I should start something in dance. So when I started the studio, I told my dad, I don't know dancing, but then I'll hire instructors and I'll make people teach at my studio. I'll be an entrepreneur. So I told you, I love watching people dance or doing any art form. So I wanted to be an entrepreneur and I wanted to watch people dance at my studio. I never really wanted to be a dancer or a dance teacher. So I needed someone to promote my studio. I was like, why don't you promote it yourself? Like, why can't you do it? Why do you need someone else's help? You can dance. I basically love watching Bollywood movies. So I watched Madhuri, Aishwarya Rai, from Dola Re Dola. So I used to dance in front of the mirror, like in UG, during UG.
Okay.
I was thinking, okay, why don't you do something in Bollywood and promote your studio? Like, let people know that you started up a new studio. Let people in the dance community know. I was not a dancer, professional dancer, technical dancer. I was only good at Bollywood because I watched a lot of Bollywood movies. I wanted a YouTube partner for ideas and for support. Like, you can't do it all alone. So I asked one of our friends. Her name is Priyanka Nair. So you might be knowing. So I have a channel called Bolly Matras. It's a new YouTube channel. I asked, she's senior, so I called her up one day and I was like, Priyanka, you want to do this? I have like an idea. Since we stay in Chennai, we both do Bollywood like often.
Yeah.
So why don't we name the channel Bolly Matras? Why don't we start a YouTube channel, Abhina? I asked her. She was okay with it. Even she wanted to start a YouTube channel, but she didn't find the right partner.
Okay.
So she was very happy when I asked. We got along. Our vibes connected. We vibed so well. So it just happened, and my studio got promoted eventually. And I had good mentors like Pradeep, Daniel, Jobin, Saro, Ajay, all of them. They all were my seniors. When I said I'm going to open a studio, they really helped me, supported me.
They were
motivated me.
also dancers individually who came to help you. So they have their.
They were already they were senior dancers. I'm a non-dancer. When I go to a professional dancer and tell them saying I want to start a studio, obviously they'll judge. What does she know? How will she handle a bit? So, but these people were never judgmental. They were so encouraging. They let me dance in their studios. They never charged me. Like they usually charge other people, but they treated me like their own sister. So my mentor was Pradeep, Daniel, Saro, Ajay, and Jobin. I had like 5 good friends in dance. They made videos with me. They were the ones who let people know that I can also dance. Like through them, people knew me. So through them, people got to know that I dance. So that's when I started my studio. After that, I started Bolly Matras and yeah.
So you told that after you realized, okay, this is what I want to do, and you went and told your parents about it. What was their reaction? I mean, they eventually would have supported you, but initially, how did they react?
My dad already knew. My mom likes dancing. Like she was the one who joined me in Bharatanatyam. I never continued it. My dad was kind of surprised, but he already knew that I started dancing in UG. I used to call him up and I used to be like, Dad, I need money for costumes. No auditions happening. Third UG made. Like first 2 years, I never made of any opportunities. I was never on social media. I never used to talk to people in college. But in third year, things gradually changed. I started opening up and I started practicing and I started choreographing. My dad knew it, but my dad never expected me to go up to him and ask, saying, Dad, I want you to invest on my studio. My dad was kind of shocked, surprised, but he was very supportive. My dad and mom, they were always supportive. They've always been so supportive.
That is actually great because the way I assumed the story was different, because in most places what happens is they want their children to be mostly in this well settled kind of jobs, and then they want to be in academics and all these things. It's great that you got parents who support you and even in the passion that you have.
It was not easy. Again, for girls, I get so many DMs, Madhu, on daily basis saying, Akka, I really love dancing. I watch your videos. I want to dance, but my dad doesn't like. My family, my dad, my grandparents. So they keep complaining. Even my dad was against, slightly. My dad always wanted me to become a doctor. This is so funny, but I have to say this. My dad always wanted me to do medicine. He made me study biology in 11th and 12th, and he joined me in MCC. I told him, saying, I'm not going to medical college, I'll at least do something in zoology. I did a BSc in zoology in Madras Christian College. My dad thought I would do till PhD and get a doctorate degree, but that never happened. My dad was slightly against it, but my dad was scared. Okay, what if you fail? But he never told me, because that will be very demotivating if he ever comes up and tells, okay, what if you fail? So my dad was very supportive. He was slightly scared of my future, about my future, but he never showed it out. Like he invested on my studio. He was very supportive. He is the first one to watch all my YouTube videos. Like he calls me up and like, why are you not giving proper expressions? Learn from Priyanka. Priyanka is the one who choreographs mostly because she's my senior and I'm learning. So my dad calls up and be like, why can't you dance? Why can't you learn something else? Like, why can't you be like Priyanka? Why can't you improve? Like, he used to give a lot of suggestions. Like,
Yeah.
good critic, my dad.
That all dads are, it happens, even in my place, it is the same way. So, initially, when you started off, yeah, you didn't start off as a dancer, but you eventually became a dancer when you started the studio. So, what difference do you find as how do you feel as an artist? Like, when it is just about dance, it's just about dancing, the domain thing. But when you're doing a business, there are many other factors that comes in. Like, you have to promote it, you will have to invest in it. So, how did you find? I mean, what was the differences?
Um, so if you are a dancer and if you're not owning a studio, it is different. You can go to various places, choreograph. You can join so many schools and be a dance teacher. But when you are an entrepreneur and a dancer, you have to be in both. You have to let people know that you own a studio. People rent my space. People come to rent my space to dance practice and for other things, and people come to learn as well. I have to play both roles. It was quite difficult in the beginning. I didn't understand. I made a lot of mistakes in these 8 months. Like in this 1 year, I made a lot of mistakes. I realized so many. Like I do one mistake and I know it only after 3 months. Okay, you shouldn't have done it. And the Mari, I kept focusing on the minus. Like I never when someone appreciates, I don't get all happy. I still think like, oh my god, I'm lacking something. I have to work on it. I have to work on it. I kept working on my
Actually.
yeah.
So you said you did a lot of mistakes. So like, what were the a few mistakes that you could tell, and how did you correct them? How did you improve on them?
So when I started the studio, I was not a dancer. I was a beginner. I concentrated only on my YouTube channel. I didn't concentrate on my own versatility. Like I didn't promote the studio see, my studio's name is Urban Dance Academy. So I never promoted it as like any other studio. I did only Bollywood, and it continues. Till now it's Bollywood. So people think we only do Bollywood. So that was a major mistake. And in YouTube videos, I did a lot of mistakes. We kept doing old songs. You're not supposed to do old songs when you're a YouTuber. You have to get public attention and subscribers. In order to
You
get a lot
follow
of
the
subscribers, you
trend.
have to do you have to make only latest songs. So there were so many. I was not an introvert. I was in between. I talk to people whom I really like, or else I don't talk. So it was very difficult for me when I started the studio. People used to come up and be like, hey, can you explain about classes? I was the one who sits at the reception because it's my studio,
Yeah.
obviously. So I used to be like, oh my god, what do I tell them? Like I want to, but then I can't. Like
You're
I
just in your
couldn't.
comfort zone till then.
Yeah, I it took me a lot of time to come out of it. When someone texts, people used to text me or DM me like 50, 60 messages every day saying, I want to join classes. In the beginning, not now. So I want to join classes. Can you please explain? I'm not this texting, calling person. So it took me really long time to come out of that zone. Now I can present myself. If I go somewhere, if I walk into a room and someone asks, hey, what do you do? Who are you? Like I'll be able to explain. So Admari, it was not. I was not this person like back then. If you had come and asked me saying, "Hey, I want to interview you," like I'd have probably said no. Also, I was so camera shy. I couldn't make videos. I danced for my own happiness. I never wanted to dance for other people. I never was an entertainer. So it took me 4 to 5 videos to come out of that as well. Like I was so camera shy. I used to laugh at the camera person. If someone asked me saying, hey, pose for your YouTube thumbnail, I'll be like, what do I pose? I can't pose.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't. So they used to get really pissed, especially my partner Priyanka. She's very patient. She took me out of it. Like I wore a belly dress costume for my very first YouTube video. It was so awkward because 5 men were standing in front of me. I'm not saying it's a mistake. I'm just saying I was not that person
You're not
who
comfortable.
used to dance in front of people. Yeah, I was not at all comfortable. Even now, if someone new walks into the room and says, hey, dance, I'll be like, no, let's talk for 2 more days and I'll dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, So that is about how you, I mean, overcame these challenges. And apart from this, talking about your studio, what are the dance forms that you teach? Like you have, how many people do you have in your studio? Like how many trainers do you have? How do they approach you?
So So I have a manager. He's my mentor. I told you, right, Pradeep.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he teaches. He's a very versatile dance instructor. He is trained in bachata and salsa, and also he's an hip hop instructor.
okay.
So I teach Bollywood,
Hmm.
and I conduct various workshops for other styles. So basically, it's me and Pradeep, and sometimes it's Priyanka. When it's her workshop, I have it in my studio. So I bring a lot of people in, and I was working on it, and lockdown came. Sad.
How did you? I mean, the like it was a very short span before this lockdown started, right? Like since you started and immediately
Okay.
it was a lockdown.
No, it's going to be a year. I started it on July 4th,
Oh,
July 3rd, 2019, and it's going to be a year. We worked for 7 months. In
okay.
these 7 months, I've made a lot of videos with my students, a lot of hip hop videos with my other hip hop batch students, Pradeep and them, me and my students, Bollywood, and I worked on a lot of Bollywood Madras videos for YouTube. After 7 months, and there was a complete lockdown. Like it's
So
still
how did
continuing.
you handle during those 3 months? I mean, during these 3 months, how are you keeping up?
I was very worried and anxious because I'm a beginner and I'm
Yeah.
very young. I didn't know how to deal with it. It was quite depressing. I was very anxious. I used to overthink at nights. Oh my God, what if you fail? What if this lockdown continues? What if people forget your studio? What if people forget your work? What if what if it's all unlocked and people don't show up to your studio anymore? What do you have to do in order to keep people connected, and what work should you be doing consistently in order to people to recognize your hard work? I kept working on it even though it was so depressing. Like I see so many negative news every day. Like for you to be a choreographer, I teach classes online on weekends. Okay, for me to choreograph a new piece, it takes peace of mind. Okay, I see so much negativity on the internet. I never used to choreograph anything because it's constant depression and negativity and anxiety. It took me a lot of time to overcome, and I came out of it. I stopped overthinking. Whatever happens, happens. Let's just work on yourself. Let's teach online classes for people to be connected. Let's not make people forget you, your work, your studio. That's what I worked on. Yeah, I'm still teaching classes. I'm
That's
getting good response.
Yeah, because when I went through your page, it was like you've even now, like I see most of the people are doing you do this choreography, and people are trying it out at their places and they're sending videos. I saw it actually. It's a nice way to engage people, because even they are at home, even they are at their places locked down, and it is a nice way to engage. But apart from this lockdown period, before that, how did you promote your studio, and how were you able to catch up with the competition?
So, as I said, there are a lot of studios in and around Chennai. My studio is in KK Nagar, and there are less studios in KK Nagar comparatively when compared to Nungambakam or Tiruvanmiyur or any other place like Anna Nagar. So KK Nagar there are less studios. So I started it in KK Nagar, and I promoted it mostly through online, like online. Instagram, YouTube. So each studio has a pattern. Some studio they do only shows, like artists shows, reality shows. Some studios they teach classes and workshops. Some studios teach classes, workshops, and they make online content more in order to reach people. Like you have to keep adapting to new normals, right? So I thought, okay, people are into Instagram and YouTube. Let's just keep promoting. I kept making YouTube videos. So that's the only way I promoted my studio, through Insta and YouTube.
Okay, so it is more of an organic content, like you make content and post it, and through that you engage the customers.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I made sure my students also dance, so that when people see, they'll be like, "Oh my God, these people actually dance. They
yeah.
actually learn and they do it properly."
Okay. So, like you said that like there might have many moments where you thought like when it was very tough for you, and you there would have been moments where you would have thought of maybe this is a wrong decision or anything like that. Were there any moments like you thought you made a mistake, or you shouldn't have done this thing, a particular thing, or something like that?
So yeah, during lockdown, I had this negative thought every night, every other night. I used to think, oh my God, are you going in the right way? Why? What's the purpose of you to start this studio? Where are you going? Are you succeeding? Are you just, vanishing? What's your purpose? Like, what are you doing? Where are you in life right now? Bina, I used to think every night. I still think, but I don't have any regrets because it's a do or die situation. I
Yeah.
started it, and once I'm in it, I do it. Like, no matter what it takes, I do it because my dad has invested. My dad trusted me, even though I was a non-dancer. My dad really supported me. I do it for my dad. I do it for myself. There were days where I used to break down, where I used to be so numb and empty. I used to think, oh my God, you shouldn't have quit your 9 to 5 job. This is too hard. This is so competitive. You see so many YouTubers, so many videos on Instagram every day. You see so many emerging new studios. For me, as a girl, a 22-year-old girl, doing all this all alone, it was too tough to handle. But then I never gave up because I wanted to inspire. I wanted to be an influencer. Where if you see my videos and if you see people sending me videos, they dress up like us. We get
Yeah.
videos from small kids like who are for 7 years old. They dress up like us in sari with lots of flowers and bun. And it's so happy. I made so many people happy. I made so many people dance. I never regret. I never had any regrets.
So that's better. I mean, it is nice that you don't have any regret, because once you start regretting, you start doubting all your decisions. Uh,
Yeah.
so during these moments where you were like you were very, it was hard, and all these doubts, how did you overcome them? What kept you going all this while?
So basically, I follow so many YouTubers. Like I got inspired by this one YouTube channel, Team Nudge. I've been following them since my UG. They started from the scratch. When I see myself and Priyanka, we are like Team Nudge. We work together. We fight a lot. We fight a lot, but then we get back and we work more and more and more. Even during lockdown, we kept
Yeah,
working consistently. So Team Nudge, when those girls can do it, why can't we?
true.
That kind of an attitude I got. And I see so many young entrepreneurs succeeding. I be like, okay, Sindhu, dance is a very difficult field. It's very competitive, but then, you got it. Just do it. Just go there. I trust God so much. I believe in God. I pray every day. Nowadays, I'm not praying because because of various reasons. But yeah, I get back. Like once I'm on track and okay, sorry, I'm stammering. So yeah,
That's
I pray a lot. Basically, I pray a lot. I have faith in God. So no matter what, I'll be like, God is there.
yeah.
God's God.
That yeah, we need something to keep us going, right? That everybody has their own coping mechanism, and yours is this hope on God. So you said that you quit your 9 to 5 job, then you started this studio, realizing that your interest and passion was in dance. What if not dance? What would you have been if you weren't into dance?
One more thing. I wanted to study history. Like I liked social geography, history. I liked traveling. I would have probably been some travel jockey maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
What if it's not dance, Niketa? I'll definitely say it's something related to travel.
So
I
you
would like to I'm good at explaining. I like explaining people the history, and I like marketing. I
okay.
like doing so many things. It's all related to talking. I talk a lot. Like if I like the person, and if it's my job, obviously I have to do it.
Okay.
So if not this, I would have probably gone into guiding, like tour guide or something like that. Something related to travel. Yeah.
So you can still do it. I mean, over the period, you don't know where you go and what all you got to explore. Throughout, I mean, till now, what are the incidents are there that you consider to be your milestones? Like, okay, I reached these many people at this time, so that is a milestone. So, what kind of milestones do you have?
I will tell you. I always am pre-planned. I'm very pre-planned. Like if it's a shoot that's going to happen on Saturday, I'll start talking about it from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I have like one whole week, but then I'll be so pre-planned. Um, so I have like a vision board. So Sindhu, you started a studio on July. What are you going to do by next July? Abdina, I used to have so many things in mind. Because of the lockdown, I was not able to do so much. Like I couldn't do most of the things that I got off. But I reached 55,000 subscribers on YouTube with just 15 videos. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's a huge milestone.
Yeah.
And I started with two students, and I had so many in my class. I started teaching two Bollywood batches, and there are so many other batches that Pradeep sir teaches. But yeah, I'm proud because being a non-dancer, learning all by yourself, being a self-taught dancer, pulling people into Bollywood and creating a team and starting a new YouTube channel, which is completely, you know, I don't know. For me, my YouTube channel is a huge strength. Like
Yeah.
we reached 55,000 subscribers, and I'm like, oh my god, 55,000 people are watching you. You have to be conscious and you have to work more. It keeps motivating me. So that is a milestone, my YouTube channel.
Yeah, YouTube now most of the times I don't understand if it's the Instagram page of any company that drives on YouTube or YouTube drives the company, but either ways they correlate very well together to bring in the revenue and people.
Yeah.
So finally, Sindhu, what would you like to tell people out there who are? I personally know many people, especially dancers, who want to achieve, but they're striving and striving. They're still in the process. So, what do you want to tell those people?
So I must say that I'm privileged because my dad supported me. I'm very lucky that way. Most people don't have that privilege. So if you're not that capable enough to start a studio, like if you're not financially like well off, it is okay. You can still start from the scratch. All I want to say is sit and talk to your parents, like talk, make them understand that this is what you'd love to do. And if you do what you love, it will eventually bring you success and fame, money, respect, everything. So if your parents are not supporting, it's still fine. If there's no other option, you have to get in and you have to work for yourself. Start from the scratch. Start teaching at various places. Earn so much name, fame, money, respect that one fine day you will get to start your own business. Like if you work on yourself, nothing will stop you. Like even if your parents are not understanding, it's only going to last for a year or two. If you keep telling them this is what I like to do, they will be like, fine, okay, do what you like, but make sure your life is settled. That's what our parents are worried about, right?
True.
I had the guts to tell my dad. But I am from a very small town in Andhra. Like I'm from a very small town called Naidupet. So people don't dance. People don't encourage such things. Like people think it's a girl should not dance any other form except for Bharatanatyam. I come from a family, very conservative family, but my father was very understanding. It was not easy for me to make him understand. It took me so many months. Like I didn't beg him. I didn't torture or blackmail. I just told him in my way, in my own way. Like you should have that capability. You should make your parents sit and talk to you. Like if you communicate well, anything will be in peace. Like
So, thank you so much, Sindhu, for your time. It was really nice talking to you. And being a 22-year-old and being an entrepreneur and discovering your own passion at some time and making a living out of it at this age, it's really great. So, thank you so much for your time, Sindhu. So,
thank you for having me, Madhu. Thank you. It was nice talking to you, and you're very sweet. Thank you.
thank you so much, Sindhu. To the audience, thank you for your time again. I hope you're inspired from this session. Stay tuned till the next session. Until then, this is Madhumati signing off from Reach Her Podcasts.
Reach Skyline. Embrace digital.